government. Here we go. Open and honest government.
Here we go. Starting record now.
Oh,
Yeah, at the end there. Or...
Good morning. We're here at my very favorite coffee spot, which is Buddy Brew Coffee on Albany and Kennedy, with Hal Hart. And Hal is going to be talking about open government and what he's doing to try to change the way government operates at the local level. Before we get started, I want to make sure that we got the chairwoman of the Republican Party here of Hillsborough County, Deborah Cox-Rouse is here, along with Dave Armijo, who is the head of the executive director of HART, and a whole host of activists and coffee lovers and political aficionados from the left, the center, and the right, all here talking politics. But Hal, you know, we got to meet each other about a year ago. You were leading a movement, very involved in how the government, local government, was going to try to deal with the homeless issue. And I know you're committed to dealing with this issue.
Yes.
But can you talk about that, and can you also talk about what you're doing on open government?
The homeless problem is something that is actually addressable in this county. We have dollars there, and what we need to do is basically change the system or the way in which homeless coalition service members can access those dollars. That goes back to the affordable housing department, and that's something that I think needs to be looked at long and hard, so that those dollars are at least these service members, these homeless services, can apply for the dollars. Up to now, that process has been limited to developers and for affordable housing. But we need to start looking at other ways to fund this. The dollars are there. We just got to rework the process.
And you're going to help. I mean, I know sometimes government, this is hard to believe, kind of has its way of doing things.
Correct.
And sometimes our way is not the best way. And what I think is really exciting is that what we're finding now is that people like yourself are saying, okay, government, we can help you do your job better. In some ways, we can do certain things that you're doing already. And that's really important. But also, let's talk about open government. Why are you so committed to open government? What does that mean?
Well, it's open and honest government, and I think, it's got to be both. I think the citizens of this county, at least the ones that I came into contact with during the Stop Tent City process, feel a bit disengaged, feel a bit disconnected.
You think people are feeling disconnected at all levels of government now?
Yes. But I think
it's a problem. It's a real problem.
It is, but I think for me now, I want to focus on local government. I think that's where we have to start. I think it has to be grassroots. I think it has to be local government, and there are a lot of opportunities that I think the citizens should be given to participate in that process. A perfect example is the public records request situation. That process is being reviewed. Public records request. That process is designed to give citizens an opportunity to look and see what's going on, who's talking to who. And that system is broken in Hillsborough County. And this review process, I think it's incumbent on the government to go out and say, okay, we need some citizens' input on how that would best work for a layperson that just simply wants public records.
Hal made a very important point, because our public records process at the county has got some real issues. And it's one of my frustrations with the leadership of county government. And so I think that what you're talking about, we recognize it, we're going to work on it, we're going to make government more accessible, information more available. Even this is what we're doing here, where we're live streaming, where we have an opportunity to let people watch. They can go to MarkSharpeFL.com and they can ask a question. They can, and we're going to have elected officials and staff people working in government also answering questions, talking live with citizens, sharing information. I do want to say to everybody who's watching, we are here at Buddy Brew Coffee on Kennedy and Albany, and you can see behind me I've got Dave Armijo, who's the CEO and chairman of HART. And they were recognized yesterday by the American Public Transportation Authority as the best run, best managed transit agency in the nation. They rank them in small, medium, and large transit agencies, and they were ranked as one of the best. Now I know they've got a lot of issues, and we're striving every day to get better. But what we're finding is that part under the leadership of Dave Armijo is really improving its performance, and that's what government's got to do: improve or get out of the way.
Right, and I agree wholeheartedly, and I think instead of looking at ways for government to expand, I think government needs to start looking at ways to take the dollars that we have and use them more effectively. I think we've got to start looking at streamlining processes. I think we have to start looking at obviously ways to do that and still be giving our citizens due process and access. But I think there are ways to do that. But again, I think it's going to take citizen input. I think it's going to take a citizen's perspective because we're on the outside looking in. And we have to be engaged. We have to be engaged in the process.
What you're saying, Al, and that's why I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of you. We need to see a lot more of you in local government. You know, when I first got involved in politics, I ran for Congress. And I kind of tried to start at the federal level and realized that really, if you want to make a difference, and for all of you watching, if you want to make a difference, if you want to have an impact, at a time when government is in desperate need of good people who want to work to make the system work better, you start at the local level.
Yes.
You got to understand how the local level works, and government has to understand. Really, just rethink how it operates. We've had this mindset that we know how to do things better than everyone else, and we don't. And we need to start listening to people like yourself and others who are saying, "Hey, we're ready to engage, participate. Just share information with us, share data, and you're going to see a lot more of that." I mean, I'm really excited about what is going on now in local government. People say, "God, this is a rough time to be in government."
This is a perfect opportunity for conservatives. I'm not talking Republicans as opposed to Democrats, but fiscal conservatives, people who want to take the fewer dollars that are coming in and get more out.
And there are people, listen, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, people who don't even identify with any political party, who feel the same way.
Exactly.
Look, government has to spend less, but and what government does do, they need to do better.
Yes.
And let's hold government accountable. And that's what I've been trying to do with the leadership in county government, and you're going to see that a lot more of that. I mean, we are really committed to making government perform better, and what is exciting is that you're seeing this from, again, folks of all political persuasions coming together and saying we've had enough of the status quo. What do you think about that?
I absolutely agree. I think this county is really at a tipping point. We can move forward, or we can stand in this bog that we've been in financially, and I think we have the right leadership in place for the most part, but I think, again, more transparency, more involvement with citizens, more reaching out, as you're doing now with Facebook and Coffee with the Commissioner. That needs to become the norm.
Well, I know we have to wrap it up here, but I'll tell you, you ought to be able to Twitter your elected official. And I'm on Twitter, MarkSharpeFlorida. You can reach me on my Facebook page, MarkSharpeFlorida.com, or MarkSharpeFlorida as well. You can go to my webpage, MarkSharpeFlorida.com. Ask questions, engage, and I hope that other elected officials, those who are running, will use these technologies. We're still. I'm seeing William Beers is saying that it has an echo, and at one point our streaming stopped. We're working on those things, and I always appreciate William. He's a good man. He asks a lot of hard questions, and he loves his country as well, and just wants it to perform better. So, Mr. Beers, appreciate your input. Appreciate all the others who are watching and participating. God bless you. Have a great weekend. That's good.
I so many things in here that I really want to put out there, and I'm working on a website.
This is great. This is just kind of like